Okay. Uh, okay. Welcome once again, everyone. Welcome to my event, Prompt Engineering and Copilot, how to use AI for anything. I am Adeboye Faith Aregweshola, and I'm a beta Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. And I want to just take you on this upskilling webinar to assist you with formatting better prompts when you are using any generative AI model. And in this case, we'll be using Copilot. And here with me as my co-host is Abayomi Abiodun. And thank you very much, Abayomi, for joining us. Can you introduce yourself just a bit?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Abayomi Abiodun. I'm also a Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador, and I'm also a better Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador as the host. So it's nice to be here.
Okay, thank you, Abayomi. So without further ado, let's get started into prompt engineering and Copilot. So let me introduce you to what prompt engineering is. Prompt engineering is, but before we go into prompt engineering, let me introduce you to what a prompt is. Many of you write prompts every day. That's if you use Copilot, if you use ChatGPT, or if you use Gemini, or any of the other large language models out there. Many of you write prompts every day, but maybe you didn't know it was prompts, or maybe some of you do know that it is called prompts. But a prompt is a statement or question that is used to generate a response from a language model. The prompt is the input that the model receives, and the response is the output generated by the prompt model. So basically, what they're saying here is a prompt is that question you ask, like, oh, hey, Copilot, I'm having an issue this morning. I don't know how to plug my PC to a Canadian outlet, or you're having an assignment that says you should write an essay to describe a duck. So you can ask Copilot that, oh, can you help me to write an essay to describe a duck? So that's your prompt there. Your prompt is that question that you're asking the model to respond to. So now the reason why we're going to be talking about prompt engineering is that this model, it depends on the efficiency of your prompts. How well you structure your prompts will determine how well the model will respond to you. So prompt engineering is the process of creating and improving prompts. The goal is to produce prompts that are clear and unambiguous, that is easy to understand. By doing so, the model is more likely to generate more relevant and detailed responses. Because ChatGPT, Copilot, OpenAI, all of them, they are all dependent on a large language model. Copilot is dependent on Microsoft, OpenAI, large language model, which allows it to score it through a series of database that allows it to return a response in accordance to what you asked it to respond. So because of this, whenever you ask a prompt, it's more or less like garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you give the model, that's what to try to structure its response around. So in order to improve what you get out of the model, you would have to also give the model much more to work with. I can just say a good prompt is one that gives the model explanations. It's like, let me just put it, let me set this standard before we go on. When I do prompts, I just do it like I'm having a conversation or I'm trying to explain something to a little child. So, because definitely all these systems, as much as we like to call them artificial intelligence, they are not quite intelligent. So it's more or less like they are working on a series of database. So based on what you give them, that's what they are going to give back to you. It's the basics of computer. So let's go on to the anatomy of a prompt. A prompt now is divided into four different parts. That's the instruction, the main directive or question you want the AI to address. Now, that's the first part of a prompt. Like, it's basically what a lot of us just do. Is the first thing that everybody does when it gets to a or language model, so any generative AI model. They just ask it the question, hey, I'm having a bad day, I'm having a good day. What can I use to make it better? Can you make suggestions? So that's what a prompt basically is, just questions. But apart from it just being questions, you can now take it to a whole new level. Now, the second part of the prompt that will improve it is context, background information, or specifics that help the AI understand the scenario better. Context just means explaining to the prompt model, to the language model, what exactly you want it to generate for you. It's like if you ask it to tell you about flowers. Flowers is a general term. It's a whole lot. So when it's responding to you, it's speaking from a wide data set. And when you just say, oh, can you tell me about flowers? Or write me an essay about flowers. You don't give it the type of flower you want it to write an essay about. Then it just starts generating random stuff. So it can give to you that, okay, a flower is a plant that has beautiful petals. And it starts giving you history of flowers, giving you different irrelevant stuff. Although yes, this might give you a little bit of stimulus or ideas that would probably help you in your writing. So it's basically that kind of, you can just use it that way, but it's not the best. Rather, now when I say you should give it context, that means you want to explain to it. Now you say, all right, can you help me write an essay about flowers? The flower should be a rose. I want it to include. I want it to include. Give me a minute, please. I want to make sure that people can join easily. All right. So you give it example that, okay, you want it to be a rose flower. Now everybody knows rose is red. All right. So, and I want you to include the other features from the stalk and the thorns. You're giving it more details that when you're writing the essay, I want you to include the entirety of the rose, not just the petals, but the stem and even the flower. Now use that in an essay. It might just be taking you like 2 lines. It will give you something much more wonderful than just writing an essay on flowers. Now let's move on to the third part, which is constraints. Constraints, as the word suggests, is any limitations or specific requirements for the response. It's more or less like telling it what and what not to do. Seems some people are having issues joining. Alright, please give me a moment. Anyway, so basically, a constraint is like you're trying to limit what it uses as. Okay, people have been able to join. You're trying to limit what it uses as reference. So, as I said in the beginning, you want to ask a question to write an essay on flowers. But like flowers is a general thing. It can write an essay on any type of flower. And depending on the type of flower, to give you a different response. And now we're using rose as a reference point. Now you want it to be constrained. Most times whenever we ask it question, we just give it a statement and we think we are done. Yes, most times it tries its best to give us something useful. But the reason why we're studying prompt engineering is so that you can get even much more out of the language model. So giving it a constraint, how would that make it more efficient? It's because, all right, let's say you give Copilot, a question, a restraint, and you now restrain it to like, okay, I only need 200 words. You've told it that, all right, try and be very creative in the fact that only 200 words are to be generated. So it will try to be creative within the constraint of 200 words. And we'll try to make sure that it includes everything that will make reference to a rose flower. So you get much more information, much more value in less words. And then you don't have to be scoring through. And also now the fourth part of the prompt, the style or the tone. This one, now I had some people ask about how to humanize AI, how to make the response sound more human. This is where most people don't make reference to. That's why most times it seems mechanical. I told you in the beginning that ChatGPT, Copilot, any language model out there, it's what you call garbage in, garbage out. So it's what you give it that it will give you back. So if you give it a mechanized question, you don't expect it to give you something much better than what you asked it. So for it to have a feeling of human touch, you yourself from the beginning, from the onset, have to include that feeling of human touch. So let's say you are asking a question about rose petals. You have to include that, oh, I want this essay to be humorous, to be funny. You can include all those drama drama terms. I want it to be funny. I want it to be irony. You can include that, oh, when you are responding, make reference to this comedian, let's say, come at me in like Kelvin art style. Because that guy is funny. So it will try its best to give you that touch of humanity. You don't have to be rigid in the way you ask it questions. You can even just start with like, hey co-pilot, how are you doing? I need you to help me out with something. And send that first. Then it says, okay, what do you want me to help you out with? Be like, well, I've been having an issue. I don't know how to solve it. I'm trying to write this paper, but I don't know how to get started. I'm stuck. Then it will ask you, okay, what paper is that? What's the topic? Or if you need more help, these outlines and help you out. So sometimes, the more conversations you have with it in one sessions, the better it is for it to relate with you. It will have much more things to work on so that like it can generate something definitely personalized for you. Sorry, give me a minute. We'll move on to prompt examples now. Okay, so let's say Let's look at some examples. I don't really include much, but with my explanation, you'll get to find out a lot about it, about like how the prompt is to be structured. So let's see an instruction. Write a short story about a brave knight. That's a question. That's a prompt. It's also a prompt, but it's not well structured. It's not giving context. It's general. It's mechanical. So anything you're going to get back is going to be general or mechanical. Because I told you in the beginning, garbage in, garbage out. So it's what you give it. That's what it's going to give you back. So write a short story about brave knights. Context: set in a medieval kingdom with dragons and magic. Many people just stop here. Many people just stop here. Like many people don't even include context. So now it's going to be able to leverage the language model to search for stories about medieval kingdoms, stories about dragons, stories about magic, try and match everything together and give you a random short story about a brave knight in a medieval kingdom that has dragons and magic. So that's for context. For constraints, you'll give it like keep it under 200 words. For style and tone, use a humorous or light-hearted tone. Basically, you're telling it keep it funny. Don't use big grammar. That's even much more constraints. When you say keep it under 200 words, don't use big grammar. Use simple English. Don't use unambiguous. Use not easy to understand. So those kind of constraints, it will make sure that when it's giving you a response, it tries to make it according to your taste as much as possible. And you can make it your style just to make the prompt much more uh to have more substance. So also that style is very very important. That style and tone. That style and tone is very very important to make sure that your prompts has that human feeling to it. Tips for improving prompts. Well, basically, let me show you one thing first before we move on to the tips. When you use this four body parts of the prompt, the introduction, the instruction, the context, the style and the tone, and the constraints, you'd have a prompt of about maybe 3 lines. Or if you are much more chatty like me, you can have up to 10 lines. Yeah, be free with the way you type your prompts. Talk to you like you're talking to your best friend or a chatty roommate. So basically, let's move on to the tips for improving your prompts. Yeah. So first tip is be clear and specific. Of course, you don't want to tell it to write about flower, then you now write like, oh, flower that is green, but you don't know the name of the flower. So just write me any flower that has green color inside. Well, there's a lot of flowers that have green colors. It's going to, or if you say gold colors, it's going to pick from a whole bunch of flowers. Then it's going to start asking you, well, to make that one better, you can now say, oh, even if you wrote like that kind of prompt that you're not specific, I said that, oh, let me to write an essay or write on flowers with gold colors. Now, if I wanted to make that prompt better, even though it's not very clear what it should write about, but you're telling it to write about gold flowers, you can now say, oh, flowers that are big and loved by a lot of people, are much more used for ornament. Uh, Maybe something like sunflower. And let's say maybe you don't know any flowers that is gold. Just say, can you just give me examples of gold flowers? Tell me their characteristics and keep it short, but make it something I can understand at first glance. So you're giving it that's a very good prompt. You're giving it examples, giving it constraints, and you've put in a little bit of style and tone because it was not mechanical. You were conversational about it. So uh Provide relevant context. Well, yes, if you're asking about flowers, you can say like the flowers that grow at the Buckingham Palace in UK, or maybe flowers that grow in West Africa, Nigeria to be precise. And don't be afraid to experiment because, as I said at the point, that when you are using this generative AI, that language models, when you're using them, they always have a session. You see that whenever you log into your Copilot, a new session is generated. So for every new session, you can build your question. You can start from as simple as I to as as what do you call it, to as straightforward as I'm having an issue, this is what I'm having, and just dish out everything at once. So, but like, let's say you should experiment and refine. You don't have to get it right from the onset. You can ask the same questions 1,000 times. You get different response almost every time, depending on how you phrase your question. So don't be afraid to experiment because once you start asking the same question, it will improve. The AI in the generative model would improve because it will look like okay, it's not satisfied with that one. So it will give you a little bit more examples that you can use to improve your prompts. Like, oh, do you want to focus more on this side? Do you want us to talk more about this? So the more you start asking that same question in that same session, you will be able to use the previous responses to grow and refine your your imagination basically to help you to be able to have more context to work with. You'll be able to gain more information. So basically, when you're asking it consecutive prompts, you'll be having a better time. So let's go to the next slide. And this one is just a snippet I copied off somewhere, just to show that your prompts can go on forever. So for providing clear instructions, um, look at the, I don't know if you can see it very well, but if you look at the left side, you see the prompt. And the prompt is just saying, write a product description for a new water bottle. I don't want to read through the response, but like, let's go through it a bit. Introducing the latest addition to our product line. Blah. The innovation and eco-friendly. Alright, let's leave that. Let's go to the right side. Now look at this prompt. You see how it's much more, it has much more words, but you now see the difference. It says write a product description for a new water bottle that is 100% recycled. That first statement alone is awesome. Like you just gave it context, you gave it example too. Like I want it to be 100% recycled. That's a constraint. So the first statement is solid, very solid. And that alone would have made it even substantial. But now, they now further went on to say, be sure to include that it comes in natural colors with no dyes, and each purchase removes 10 pounds of plastic from our ocean. So now this is much more stylizing to what you need per se, to what you actually need. So this information is not something that the language model would have been able to guess, or let's say what's that in probability, because it works on probability. So it would not have been able to guess that you needed this. So it will have given you a whole lot of different suggestions. But like now by giving it this example and by giving it this constraint, you've told it that yes, this is what I want the water bottle description to include. But it's not, yes, this is a good description, but it's not enough. You need it to be much more to work with. As the you included like natural colors with no dyes. That's a constraint. That's example also. That's clear and vivid. You you want it to include that each purchase removes 10 pounds of plastic from our oceans. So you see that the response introducing our newest water bottle. the eco-friendly choice for the conscious consumer. So you see that the first few lines is captivating compared to the other one that looks like an email from a company you never read their email. But basically, introducing the latest addition to our product line. Yeah, whatever. But like introducing our newest whatever water bottle, the eco-friendly choice. So it's going to immediately grabs the attention of people that are interested in eco-friendly products. And before you know it, it's going to include the remaining examples and constraints we included. Made from 100% recycled materials and available in natural colors with no dyes. This bottle is not only stylish but also sustainable. Each purchase of this bottle removes 10 pounds of plastics from our ocean. You see, it uses your prompts to even just it's almost giving you back your prompts, but just making it much better. Now it's now going to get into the intricate details. I'll say making it a responsible choice for those who care about the environment. Now you're now putting in is endearing with customers with that line. And its durable and leak-proof design makes it perfect for outdoor activities. Now it's putting that ideas in your head. Why it's easy to carry handle around makes it convenient to take on the go. Join us in our mission to reduce plastic waste and choose this eco-friendly water bottle for your daily hydration needs. So bam. So you see that this one is definitely very different from this one, where in the end it's saying making the perfect choice for anyone looking for a reliable and sustainable water bottle. You see that this one is exhausting. The left side is exhausting. The right side, see it's putting in like is it's it knows who is marketing for it, knows who is writing for it's writing for the customer. So it's making sure that every word that is being used is targeted towards eco-friendly consumers. So that's it for giving a clear instruction and for to a prompt for a prompt. Let's go to the next slide. The importance of prompt engineering. By now you should be able to see why prompt engineering is actually very important and relevant to writing prompts. As I said in the beginning, you can just write prompts and just give it your questions. Definitely it will work, it will generate something for you. It's built to generate something regardless of what you say. Even if it's one word, it will generate something. That's its power, that's the strength of ChatGPT, that's strength of Copilot, that's strength of generative AI, that's strength of large language models. But like basically, prompt engineering involves crafting inputs that guide AI models to produce desired outputs. Now, with prompt engineering, you'll not just be getting outputs anymore. You'll not just be getting responses, but you'll be getting desired responses. What you desire, what is in line with what you have in your mind. And again, it ensures that AI responses are accurate, relevant, and useful. That is also almost saying the same thing that desired responses. Three, it also by providing clear instructions, AI can complete tasks more efficiently. You're doing more good by providing clear instructions. So if you're a good prompt engineer, you are helping the AI to help you better. It's a win-win. And well-crafted prompts reduce misunderstandings and errors. Yeah. So compared to a general prompt where it has to now score you all over the data sets, just give you a response and starts giving you inaccurate response. With a well-crafted prompt, you can reduce those chances of errors and inaccuracy. It also enables AI to handle a wider range of tasks and application. So it allows you to be able to use it for basically anything. Because I would say Copilot, any large language model, they are quite powerful. They have access to much more information and data at a go compared to you scoring Google the normal way. So when you want to use it for any task, whether it's for marketing, whether it's for assignments in college, university, whether it is for what do you call it, whether it's for programming or whether it's just for your own curiosity, the way you structure your prompt will make sure that it's able to handle that question you're asking it. I, that's understood, right? So for Copilot, I'll be asking my co-host to assist with that. Abayomi, are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here. So good day once again. My name is Abayomi Abiodun. Just
All right.
like my host
So
has
if you can,
introduced me. Okay, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
yes,
I'm
yes,
Abayomi
me I can.
Abiodun by name, and I'm also Microsoft Student and Ambassador. So understanding, just like the host has been explaining and showing us some of the anatomies of how Copilot, Microsoft Copilot works. So I will also be, I will also try to show us and let us to understand Microsoft Copilot and continue where it stopped. And I think he will still come back to continue the rest. So I want to help all the attendees to maximize their, like, what specifically Microsoft Copilot does is like just to help you. It's just like any AI tools, like to help. It can help you to manage your life. It can help you to improve your life. Just what you need to know or what you need to understand is the art of prompt engineering, because if that art is not clearly understood, it will be difficult for you to prompt well and get a good result. Just like now, okay, what is Copilot? Copilot is an AI powered assistant integrated into Microsoft 365 application. So it's a large language model, and for those that have background in ML and AI, I know you would have, like, you would have been exposed to something like natural language processing. So and an application like ChatGPT also is powered with a large language model. So this Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, is also an AI powered assistant integrated into Microsoft 65 application. And what works behind the scene is the concept of large language model, and it has a capability far beyond normal generated AI. So it's very good. It's is an is an AI tools that one need to embrace. So what about this capability? So it generates content. You can generate content with it. You can analyze data with it. You can provide insights, and it can automate tasks. So these are like some of the key concept of what it can do. So it can help you to generate content depending on exact content you are trying to generate. Maybe you even want to make some posts on LinkedIn, just stuff like that. You can generate a content from Microsoft Copilot. You can also analyze some basic data. Then you can provide insight. It can give you some insight on so many things, just like managing your days, like asking some basic question. Then it can also help you to automate tasks. So you can move to the next slide. Oh, are you there? Hello.
All right, I've changed to the next slide.
Okay. Okay.
Can you see the slide? All right.
No, I'm not seeing it here. I'm only seeing 10. Okay, no, okay, that's changed now. That's changed. Okay, I think I can
I was
even
listening.
change it from here. I can even change it from here. So don't bother. So now I'll also be talking about how to access Copilot.
Oh,
So
all right.
because
Oh,
okay,
that's
okay.
also awesome.
Yeah. So I'll also be uh walking us through on how to access Copilot, Microsoft Copilot. So window integrated window integration, so available directly in window 11 if we are using HP, using any laptop powered by Microsoft software. So once you have window 11, window 11, and most versions of window 10 is going to like work with it because it's a window integrated uh, application. Then web access, use Copilot on the web via the Copilot website or Microsoft Edge sidebar. So these are like ways to access it. Then we also have mobile access if we are using mobile phone that you can install, download different mobile app. So you can download the Copilot apps for iOS, is available for iPhone. It's also available for Android phone. Different kind of any smart device that you have, you can uh, download and get this Microsoft Copilot on it for you to for easy access. Then we also have some key functionality of Copilot. So we have content generation, just like I've talked about that before now. So you can create documents, you can create email, you can create presentation, you can create a lot more. So using this is a tools that everyone need to embrace to use so that it can help us to manage our life effectively. It's going to make our life more easier.
Huh?
So also data analysis,
No, no. It's a form of
you can also
prompt engineering.
analyze uh, you can also analyze and visualize data in Excel using this Microsoft Copilot. So anybody here that you are so interested, just like me, I'm a data analyst. I love using a software like Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and the like. So this can also be a powerful tools we can embrace, like doing some analysis and visualization in Excel. So then tax automation, yeah, I believe everybody wants to automate different tasks. You don't really want to be doing everything on yourself, or anytime you open your laptop, you have to do this, you have to. There are a lot of ways you can automate a lot of routine, something that you need to, something that you do often or you do every time. You can just automate it. So once at times, it just help you to do them and get those tasks done by itself. So then tags in Outlook. Outlook is like an email box for Microsoft, and also on Microsoft Teams, where we are having this meeting or this event is Microsoft Teams. So there are some basic uh, tasks we can also automate using Microsoft Copilot. Then image curation. You can also generate image and design using Copilot as well. So these are like basic things that you can do. Then how to humanize AI response using prompts. Using prompts, so we can see we use natural language, just like what as if we are talking to a friend, like we're having a conversation. So write just okay, example, can you help me with my homework? You can see just like, oh, I'm talking to my friend, can you assist me with this? Or just like asking someone, talking to someone, and the person is giving you response. So instead of assisting with homework, write as if you are talking to a friend. So you talk and it's going to give you a feedback or give you the answer as if you are talking to human being. So you can also incorporate empathy, like acknowledging the emotion you feel while asking a question. All depends on the art of prompting. So once you can prompt well, there are a lot of things you can do with these powerful AI tools. So be specific and contextual. So provide content to get more relevant uh, response. So the more you provide content, the more or the more you provide context rather, the more you get accurate response, because AI will only give you is like I can prompt an AI just like this Microsoft Copilot, and I'm prompting it on a certain things and it can be giving me a certain response, and while you are prompting it is giving you another response. All boils down to how you prompt it, how you prompt it well. And this there are times you need to provide some context so that it's going to understand fully what you are really talking about. So, example, can you suggest some fun activities for a raining day instead of suggest activities? So then maintain a conversation tone using just like the way we talk or interact with our friends. So these are just like things we can also do with this Microsoft Copilot. So I think my host can take it from there. So it's nice having me here.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, David, are you there? Hello? Okay, I think he's not there. Probably I should just. So I think he's not there. I will just probably continue until it jumps back. So then interact. I okay. I think he will join soon. So let me just pause from there. Or do we have any question before he started speaking? Or let me ask, have we used Copilot before, Microsoft Copilot before, and what are your experience with it? If
Sorry,
anybody
sir.
wants to
Please, I
say
have a
anything,
sorry, sir.
okay.
Please, I have a question. My question is that, please, for example, in case you have just like an assignment, I and a friend, so I tell Copilot to help me, like, give me something I can write. Is it going to just generate the content, or it has been pre-programmed, but such that it's going to give us the same answer, or it can provide different answer for different people using the same prompt? Do you get the question, sir?
Yes, I got the question. One thing I can say is, so far as human being, I can't prompt this the same way. If we have the same problem, we can't ask the same way. The response is going to give you will based on the it will based on how you prompt it, like how you ask the question. And there's there are times that if you want to ask a question, just like me now, I am applying for a job today, and before I apply for that job, although that was even I used ChatGPT for that, I have to upload my CV. Then after I upload my CV, I was able to prompt it based on my CV that, oh, help me to create a cover letter from this, help me to do this, help me to. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to prompt, the art of prompting, like just prompt engineering, is the key concept to solving this issue. Depending on how you prompt it, that's how you're going to get the response. There are times that you need to provide some context of that things that you want to do for it to be able to understand it clearly, so that it's going to give you. But I believe that everybody cannot prompt it the same way. So you can, what I want to, I may say what is something, and somebody say suggest this, or discuss this, or write this in a short description, or write this or discuss at large. So I think it all depends on how you prompt. So I don't really believe that, although I'm not sure, but to me, I've not really seen people prompt. Even you, if you prompt a generative AI, if you prompt it with just the same thing, but you keep prompting it differently, like changing, you see that the results may kind of different, may not, it's not like totally different, but the way it's going to appear may not really the same. I don't know if I'm able to answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, okay. While still waiting for David to join us, do we still have any other person? Maybe you've used Microsoft Copilot before, or this is your very first time, or you have anything you want to share, or you have more questions to ask. So, do we have anybody? Do we have anyone?
Abayomi, it's fatal.
Okay, you're back, Abby.
Network.
Are you back? Yeah, you can share your screen then. Can you hear me? You can share your screen.
Give me a minute. I'm trying to reconnect on my laptop. Uh, network is network was doing somehow.
Uh,
Well,
Let me
basically,
see.
Abayomi, can you open Copilot on your laptop?
I'm not sure because I joined with Mac. I think it will be much easier using window laptop.
Don't worry about using a Windows laptop. Just search copilot.microsoft.com.
Okay, okay. Let me try that. Okay. I'm coming. Give me a minute. Mhm. Then I'm trying to share my screen as well so that you can see. Then uh I think before you can you see my screen? Can you see my
Yes,
screen?
sir.
Okay. Okay. I think this is where we stopped. This is where we stopped. Can you just like continue from here then before we move to? Are you there?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm coming. It seems like everything is getting back to normal. All right. So that's the link to use Copilot on your laptop, even if you're not using a Windows laptop. So the Microsoft AI, they call it Microsoft AI Copilot. If you search in your web browser for Copilot, you definitely see a link to use Copilot. And if you are not the type to be able to spot this kind of links easily, this is the direct link, copilot.microsoft.com. And if most of us, we walk around with our phones a lot. So they also have an app on the App Store and also on Play Store. So you can easily download the app from there and you'll be able to use Copilot. I know my co-host has told you about like the uses of Copilot, but one fun part of it is that you can also use it to generate, what do you call it, to generate images. So it's not just text alone. You can generate images like, I don't know if you're familiar with generative AI for images. Who has ever used it before? You can unmute yourself and like, if you have ever used it before, you can raise your hand. If you if you've not, I want to try and share my screen so we can move to the interactive session. But yes, Copilot can allows you to generate images. You can also upload images, and it will score the images for relevant information. Maybe you have, let me see, what can you use? Right, you are reading a passage from inside your notebook. Maybe your lecturer gave you a couple of definitions and lecture, and you don't have any, like, you don't understand what he's saying. Like, you're just like, "Kilele, like, what's this?" You can snap that place and paste it. But because of your handwriting. But let's just say you can snap the place and paste it in Copilot. It will try its best, extract the text and make sense of that misunderstanding. And also, if you have, maybe you're reading a novel or you're reading a maybe a self-development book or maybe a programming book, you can also just snap that page, post it in Copilot that, can you explain what's going on in this page? So it will tell you that, oh, the character this is trying to do that and that. So it's very, very helpful that even with uploading images, you'll be able to make use of Copilot for a whole lot of things. Hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, you can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir, we can.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, sir, we can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you.
I'm Abayomi. Okay. All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
can you hear me?
All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right.
Ah, yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I'm hearing it. It's because I think there's a lag. All right. Thank you very much. So let me, because I want to take us to an interactive session so that you can see what I've been talking about. Basically, my network save us today. Uh, well, with all that I've been discussing, okay, there's one more thing I forgot to mention. Can you download Copilot on your phone? You can also like use voice prompts to chat with it. I don't know if anybody has tested out in any other generative AI app, but with Copilot, I mean, like it's one of the best speech to text that I've seen. Even right now that I'm recording this session in Microsoft Teams, it's transcribing every word and it's very like very accurate, even with my Nigerian English. So with Copilot, it automatically detects which type of like your tone of, let me say, your accent, and it will transcribe very accurately compared to a lot of other ones. And I don't want to mention names, but like yeah, it shocked me when I was using the voice prompts on Copilot app to chat, and the thing was very accurate. Like I didn't even need to start forming. I All right. Please let me log in via no.
Okay. Okay. Should I just show Microsoft
Or
Copilot?
by me, maybe search Copilot on your side. Search Copilot on your side. Because I don't know why my own is doing me. Yeah,
But
search
you
it on
can
your
see my
side.
screen,
I
right?
don't know. My own is disturbing me. Definitely. I'm seeing your screen.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So what do you want to prompt?
Okay. Let my let's start with, when I started I said garbage in, garbage out. And when you're wait, are you already in Copilot?
Yes, yes. Can you see it? Can you see the interface?
You
Yes.
can see it, sir.
Let's test out their image generation. Yeah, I can see it now. Test out their image
What,
generation. Let's generate.
what should I
Well,
prompt? What should I prompt?
all right. Let's generate an image. But I think they are. I'm coming. I'll tell you. There are rules to generating images. Also, I've noticed you can't generate images of trademarks. Like trademarks, like if you want to generate image of Tom and Jerry, you have tell you that
And
sorry,
I
I'm not allowed to do that.
and I also
Or you want to
think
generate
this
images
is
of
like
Looney Tunes
yeah.
or
So I guess these are also sample like create a table that help me plan lunch for a week, then create an image of friend fuzzy monster gathered around a campfire, then also help me. Like I think there are also even some examples of,
okay.
I don't really know the one you want to like, but I'm just telling you
Examples.
that you can click on any of them and
Mm,
just get results. You get.
let's generate the image of a fairy in a. Let's generate the image of a pirate ship at war. Let's just type that. Let's see what it's going to bring
Yeah,
out. I generate the image of a pirate ship at war.
a pirate, I mean, pirate ship, I mean,
Yes, a pirate. Yes. At war.
at wall. Is it wall or walk?
War.
Okay.
War. WAR.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Should I submit? Should I submit it?
Yeah. Maybe we would put in with a. Let's see if we add in one more thing. Let's add in one more thing. Like on a very sunny day. Let's see what's going to do. Add like on a very sunny day.
I will edit that. I've already submitted that, so I will just re-edit it.
No problem. Let's generate it. Let's generate. Uh,
It has already generated this, but can you see?
Okay, all right. It's loading up.
It has already loaded. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. There's lag on my own end. So you can click the image and make it full screen.
Everybody can see it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, now I can see
Yes,
it.
we can.
Okay.
You should have given it more context. It's giving us ships. Okay. Well, this is funny, sha.
You can
Pirate
try
ship at
to
work.
read.
Okay, that's the prompt. Yeah, I think this is funny, sha.
Should we add any
All right, this
more?
is quite funny.
Do you want? Okay,
Yeah. Yes. You know,
what do you want
basically,
me to?
basically, Abayomi, I,
Yeah.
I wanted to generate a prompt of a pirate ship, SHIP, but I think even with this misunderstanding, it's generated quite cool images. Imagine using this
Okay.
for a book cover. But like, yeah, but like, I think that's not bad. So I want to see. Let's move on to. Let's leave the image generation and move on to what do you call it? Just say, hey, Copilot. Uh, let's use Copilot from the view of the student because a lot of us are students. So let's say, hey, Copilot. I'm a student currently studying computer science, and we no, don't let me use computer science. Okay, is there any student in the room that would love us to use whatever they are studying as a case study?
Do we
Hello.
have any? Okay. Probably
So I
I'll
use
just use
computer
my.
science. Use computer science.
Yes, she's
Okay.
computer science, Abby. Yeah. All right, so let's use computer science. Say, hey, Copilot. I'm a student of computer science. I
So
just got into university and I'm lost. I what to do? Yeah. Okay. I'm at a loss at what to do to improve my skills and I need you to come up with. Have you done typing? Are you done typing what I first said?
yeah, I just said a co-pilot. Currently, okay. Wait, I'm currently I'm currently studying computer science and I just got to the university and I am lost in my study and skill acquisition. That's what I'm trying to
Mhm.
like.
Yeah, prompt that.
Oh,
Prompt that. Just
yeah,
prompt that. Although I would love to give more context, but just prompt that. You see what to generate. Then we'll do another prompt with
acquisition.
that same question, but with more context. You must see these people.
So it
Right,
should.
like yes.
Can you please? Can you please help me with my with what to do, Abby? Note, I'm coming. No, two. I think this is even getting.
See, you feel just um give it a little bit of context and just tell it to give you a pathway to the easiest tech career to bust into, like to get into.
Can you see my screen?
Oh, seems that my phone is faster. But yes, yes.
So yeah, the question is a co-pilot. I'm currently studying computer science and I just got to the university and I'm lost in my study and skill acquisition process. Can you please help me with what I need to know to be an excellent student? So he said, absolutely. I would be happy to help you navigate your journey in computer science. Here are some key tips and strategy to help you excel. So then it has build a strong foundation, understanding the basics. Make sure you have a solid grasp of fundamental concepts like algorithm, data structure, blah blah blah, the math. Develop practical skills, programming, version control. Engage in continuous learning, online resources, books and tutorial. Participate in projects and competition, hackathons and open source. Networks and collaborate, study groups, mentorship. Stay organized and manage your time, then explore different area. So stay curious and passionate. And I think these are awesome response. I think that's all. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Thank you.
Yeah, there are some. I'm going to type a prompt that you should ask it. Yeah, I'm going to ask. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
About me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me as
Yeah.
well? Yes. Oh yeah, continue. I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
eh, Yes, I can. Right. Okay. I wanted to type a prompt in the chat box that
Yeah,
we should
just
use
type it
next.
then I'll just go there and
Since my
copy
own
it.
laptop is kind of slow, I don't know why. But basically, I think there are also people that are probably writers in the building or in the events. All right. So I would follow the 4 steps. So first off, let's say I am a fictional writer and I want to I want you to help me generate a snippet of 300 300 words that could be most epic entry to a new world of my two main characters, Eric and Bosnak. Stop using names that you don't know. Eric and Felicity or whatever. So now I just gave it the instruction, but basically I'll just give it a little bit more context. Eric is a strong-headed idiot. No, sorry, he's a strong-headed man. He's a strong-headed man.
Are you projecting from your
And never
side?
listens
I'm not.
to anybody's opinion.
No, yes.
No, I'm not projecting. I'm typing the prompt in the chat box.
Okay, but we are not
So
seeing
you're going to
anything
copy it
here.
and paste it because my Copilot is
Okay,
basically not loading up. So
okay. Yeah, we are still
yeah, I'm
waiting
still
for them.
typing. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. Uh, Let me see. That's why I'm saying it out. All right, that's why I'm saying it out as I'm typing. So he's a strong head man and never listens to anyone. opinion, opinion. He also is quite dull. So, all right, and let me now put that. And Felicity is his most loving and supportive friend. Felicity has a crush on him, but doesn't know how to say it. Don't worry, your prompts can go on as long as you want, and the more context you give to your prompt, the better. Uh, I don't know how to now. Felicity has a crush on him. Now this is where the real question for the prompt model comes in. But I don't know how to unfold the story. I have a setting of Aladdin in mind. Now I'm coming. Let me type this finish. Aladdin in mind. Can you help me get started? Get started with this mystical enchanting, or let's not use too much English, with this interesting and almost enchanting story. Set in the city of let's use Ibadan or Tanzania. All right, so I'm sending the prompt to the chat box, and should you should see it any minute now.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to copy that now.
You have seen it? Nope.
Yes, yes, I've copied it. Can you see my screen?
All right, so you can just copy it and paste. Yeah, because I wanted to also say one more thing. I wanted to say one more thing. Yeah, it's loading up. I can see it, sure. So I wanted to say one more thing. When creating a prompt, the beginning and the ending are very, 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 very important. Very, very, because the prompt model, the AI, when it is when it's designed, it basically gives more attention to the beginning to structure the information is going to be looking for. So and the ending to now like make sure it's still within the constraint of what you are requesting. So when you're starting, you know, you are giving it an intro into what you want it to do. But that final ending part is even much more important than the beginning sometimes because it will let it know, okay, this is exactly what I need. These are the necessary details I need included inside your response. So whenever you're writing a prompt, before you send before you send the prompt, make sure that the end of that prompt has the necessary constraints and context that will make it give you the desired response. So the thing has responded. I'll read it as I see it from your screen. So sure, I'd love to help you get started. Here's a snippet to introduce Eric and Felicity in an enchanting Aladdin inspired setting in the city of Ibadan. So the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the bustling city of Ibadan. Sweet. What an entry. Gives you imagery. And since you've given it a anchor point for the city, Ibadan, it helps you to just start off. You don't even need to start thinking of context. Uh, let's scroll to the Okay, should we continue reading? Let me continue reading. The air was thick with the scent of spices and the sounds of merchants haggling in the marketplace. I mean, when you want to start a story, like most of these things don't come to your head, like to include, oh, there's a market, there's merchants, like the description, the spices and the sound of merchants haggling. This is epic. Awesome. We move on. Amidst the vibrant chaos, two figures stood out. Now they are introducing them in full. That's because why? You gave it context, you gave it constraints, you gave it examples. I gave it like example of what the man is, like his character traits, and what the lady is also like. I already said the story in short. So basically, when you're designing a prompt, when you're engineering a prompt, you should engineer it like you're trying to make a conversation with your friend. Like you're trying to explain this epic idea you have in your mind, but you don't know how to put it out in words. Most times, this responses that Copilot gives us is just to assist as a basis for you to now be more imaginative. And you can even, after being inspired by it, now even go ahead to write even much more context and details. So you even refine the prompt, the response that he has already given you. So if I were to jump, you see now that because of what I said in the prompt, it gave us a striking figure of Eric. It said Eric, a tall and imposing figure, navigating the crowded streets with determined stride. You see, his strong willed nature was evident in the way he brushed past everyone who dared to slow him down. So awesome, it puts a smile on your face when you read that line. And his dark eyes is giving you, it's now even helping you to construct the physique of your character. You see, his dark eyes scan the surroundings, always alert. And note, it's not only stories. This is also the same way if you are given a classwork to do, assignment, take home assignment in school or university. Just give it the question that the lecturer asked. Give it what you think the question is saying and what you think the question is not saying, and basically enter that prompt. Just see what it will do for you. It will bring out resources that will help you to understand what that question is asking. You can even ask it to include resources, but sometimes resources might not be accurate. But like yes, you can say maybe books that reference it, that will be accurate, or videos on YouTube, that will be also accurate. So, but let's go on. Always alert, always ready to the next challenge. Eric never listened to anyone's opinion. You see, because I explicitly see, I said that inside the prompt, it included it in his response. So believing his path was the only one worth following. Abayomi, I feel like I don't know. Is anybody understanding like what I mean when I say prompt engineering is very important? Putting in context, following that four pathway to creating a prompt, your instruction, the examples, the context, the tone, and constraints. All those things they are very very important when crafting your prompts, and to allow your prompts to come out well refined. You see, now they moved on to Felicity. They gave you a striking figure of how she should look like. You see that it will reduce the stress you go through, and because this is this is your personal co-pilot, this is your personal AI, your personal assistant. You don't have to be worried about anybody seeing what you're asking him. So you can ask it almost anything, and you can be detailed down to the most uh, unseemingly important ideas you have. So when you're asking a question, you don't have to worry about whether you're right or wrong. Just first ask it. Then when it generates a response, you yourself will be able to look like, okay, this thing does not sound right. Can you refine? Then you ask another question. Can you refine the response you gave me? I don't think this part of the response sounds right. You can copy that part, paste it in, and say this place does not sound right. Can you rephrase it to sound like this? So it's a continuous process of refinement, and to make sure that you get that which you want. I don't know. Does everybody understand? Hello.
Yes, we are
Does
with you.
everybody understand? And does anyone want us to do,
Yes, we can hear you.
yes, and does anyone want us to do any more example? All right. Does anyone want us to do any more example?
Ah,
Hello.
bro, I'm
Does
good.
anyone still want us to do any more example? All right, that's
I
cool.
think
So on this note, I would love to end this meeting and thank every single person that has stayed here all through. Abi? About
yes, yes. So
Yes,
it's nice
yes.
having everyone.
So, yeah, it's nice having everybody. Like, really appreciate everybody that's made it to the event, stayed throughout. I really, really appreciate everybody. And thank you for coming. And basically, in the next coming sessions, I would love to take you through more technical aspects of AI or anything that might come up. I'll be sharing information with you on the group. And thank you all for joining. See you next time. I remain at the Bay of Faith, Aribashola. So, bye.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, so